Hey everybody, it's Melissa, health and wellness coach, nurse practitioner, and researcher in training. And today we are making some of my favorite delicious banana muffins. So you guys know that I don't like to waste food. So these 4 bananas you can see, nobody's gonna eat those. But these make for the best banana bread or banana muffins. And I found this recipe, I think maybe on All Recipes or something. I don't know where I found it. Anyways, it was so good, I had to write it down and we had to do it again. One of the things I like too is baking. When I was little, I always baked. And you guys know I always say, keep it simple, try to eat real food. And so I think this is what this is. Like, sure, a sweet treat or a pastry may not be considered health food, but it's a part of life and we like pleasurable things. Michael Pollan, I love his works and his writings. He always says, eat real food, not too much, mostly plants. And one of his books, Food Rules, he talks about enjoying those things that we may typically consider bad foods, such as French fries or burgers or whatever. But one of the easiest ways to manage your consumption of that is to make it yourself. So, if you like cookies or brownies or whatever it is, try to reduce your intake of store-bought or commercial products, and then just make it yourself, and you'll find you have less additives, and it just tastes better. So what we got here, we got 1.5 cups of flour, and I preheated the oven to 350, so it is ready. So 1.5 cups of flour, we'll move that out of the way. We've got 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I don't know how many times I've made this recipe, but I never remember it, maybe because I don't rely on my memory. And then we've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we're at 3 ingredients? Let's see if I can keep count. Baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I like to add in a couple tablespoons of flaxseed. So as you guys know, I always repurpose things. So this is just some flaxseed that I bought in bulk, and I'm just gonna throw that in there because I look for any and every opportunity to add something delicious and nutritious. So we're gonna mix this around to make sure it's all good. So that was like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 things? And then and I always usually get my little helpers too. So my little kids, they love to bake and make things with me. And then we can learn about food and how things work. All right, so that's pretty good there. We'll leave that there. And then we're gonna take our bananas. Now usually I don't let them honestly get this ripe, but yeah, I was busy and we didn't have time to do this. So now we're doing it, but they're gonna be even better. We're just gonna pop those in there. And you do wanna use 3. If not, you wanna add some substitutions. If you only got like 2, then you can always throw some applesauce in there, because you want, this is gonna kind of give it the liquid. You're gonna see we're not adding a whole bunch of liquid to this. And then I like to blend these up a little bit by themselves. So we're gonna, whoop, how about we make sure that's locked. There we go. All right, let's blend those bananas up until they kind of liquefy. And then this recipe calls for 3/4 cup of sugar. I find that's a lot of sugar, and so I just take it down a notch, especially since these are so ripe, and I do 1/2 cup. And even that's kind of a lot, but you can reduce or minimize and see how well you want it. So you can see our bananas are pretty much like all just pureed. So then I just turn it off and throw the rest of our ingredients in there. So it calls for 3/4 cup, but I just put 1/2 cup. And then this is butter. So we've got 1/3 cup of butter, the real stuff, don't use margarine. And then we've got 1 egg. Perfect. All right. And then we're just gonna blend all that up. It smells so good. And then after you make this recipe, you can kind of determine if you want to add like a pinch of cinnamon or a little nutmeg or some vanilla. But you would think it needs it, but honestly it doesn't. It doesn't need anything else. All right. So that's all done. And then the last thing is, now we're gonna fold in the flour mixture. So you can obviously keep your machine running and just add it in there. I just decided to stop it, maybe so you can hear me better. All right. Perfect. And you can see that blends up really nicely. And your batter is going to be pretty thick, but it should be liquefied. Kind of nice and sticky. All right, that's good. I don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to use this little tin, and then this is kind of like 2 servings, honestly. So, or it's like a nice kind of breakfast on the go. So if you're like, oh, I want to take something for breakfast in the morning, you can pack that and a boiled egg, you know, or this is a nice like after dinner dessert with a cup of tea, more mid-afternoon snack, or what we call merienda. Or you can even do like just little tiny muffins if you want to think about portion control. I've already greased these. I think that's good enough. So we try to make sure those are all pretty even. And usually these need to be in here for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on the size of the muffin that you have. So I'm gonna put them in the oven for 25 minutes, and then we'll come back and check it out. All right, so it has been 25 minutes, and these are nice and brown. Delicious. Delicious. Look how nice they rose up. Great. And so they will pop out of here nice. I'm gonna let them cool a little bit, and then all you gotta do is just pop them out. We'll put them up on here, and they're done. Let me know if you try it. Let me know how delicious they are. Remember to do something good for your health. Eat real food as often as you can, and make small changes. All right, have a great day.